Yeah, a little bit maturity, a little bit like I just talked about, being prepared. We had a good week. We get ourselves in position. The games mean a lot, and we got to find a way to fall back on our foundation. And at times, we didn't have a foundation to fall back on. We didn't have a style of play that we were playing consistently enough that when things weren't going our way, this is what we fall back on and how we stop that momentum.
Brian, is that on the players? Is it on the coaching staff? I mean, who does the blame fall on?
Well, it's the players. I mean, the players on the ice. We're performing. We have to, like you said, we have to look in the mirror, and it was a very disappointing season. I don't think anyone is happy with where we sit. There's not much positive to be drawn, except that hopefully the feeling we had after the game, guys realized how devastated and how disappointed we are, and they're not willing to accept that come next year. It speaks to where we are and where we need to be as a team, and hopefully we can use the summer to kind of regroup on that.
I know you said guys need to perform. Does some of it have to be belief, though? You mentioned the style of play and fall back on. Do guys not believe in the style? Some guys?
No, it's just there's a few factors. I mean, there's different things. Guys want to do too much at times, try to do too much at times instead of just playing a certain way, not forcing things, rolling the lines and letting everybody do their job. Sometimes it's a little much that you're trying too hard.
You hear terms like culture of winning and grow a culture of winning. Can you put into words just how difficult it is how challenging it is?
Well, it's hard. It's really hard. But like I said, it's about how we take care of ourselves, how we come to the rink. It's how we practice. It's all the little habits. So then when it comes game time, it's all second nature, and that's where it starts, and that's where we need to be better.
Brian, what did you think you were signing up for when you joined here, and where do you feel like you're at right now that your contract is up?
Well, it's disappointing. I thought we would have been further along. I thought we would have been a playoff team already, and the disappointing thing is I think we should have been, so that makes it even harder. Whether that's on me or not, I got to find a way to help this team take the next step, and wasn't able to do it.
You've made it clear you want to keep playing. You want to be able to be here?
I hope so. I mean, I think, like I said, I'd like to see this through and find a way to take that next step and be that team that can make playoffs. And I think we can. I think we have the guys in the room. It's just a matter of finding our way and getting there more consistently. So I felt good. I felt good pretty much all year, and I would love to continue to play, and obviously like it to be here.
Brian, you're not the first guy to mention the word maturity. Why is that an issue with this team, given the fact there seemed to be a semblance of a core of leaders here?
There's a few layers. So there's off-ice prep. There's an on-ice performance. On-ice performance comes down to managing games. Whether you have a lead, there's a few times this year that we blew some leads. A few times this year we didn't come ready to play at the start, that you get behind. We were able to bail ourselves out a few times, but you can't rely on that. And so that maturity comes in preparing yourself for each game.
I'm not talking next year or even maybe the year after, but who do you see as a future captain on this team?
I think it just naturally happens. It naturally occurs, and there's a lot of guys. By no means is this. There's a lot of guys of support system, whether you have a letter or not. There's a lot of guys on this team that lead. So it's hard to say who.
15 years in the NHL. How challenging of a season was this? Because you talked about, you thought you guys were good enough to be a playoff team. How challenging was this season?
Yeah, it's the ups and downs for sure. It weighs on you, and you're trying to find any way you can to get over that. And at times it looked up. We got ourselves into contention, and we were right there. And then you have a bad week, and the way the league is and how tight it was this year, especially for a long time in the East. There's 6 teams or so that were right at the same spot, and we could never find a way to make that next jump. And climb in the standings.
Is it even more maddening when you consider the strides this team took last year and then the optimism that you came in with this year? I mean,
Yeah, for sure. There's it's a much different field. Last year, coming into the off season, we're winning, 650, 700 win percentage. So down the stretch, we had a lot of optimism. This year, there's more disappointment in the fact that we know we could have been better.
Brian, how much roster turnover do you think there would be?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's up to Tim and everyone involved upstairs to do the review process and then go from there.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.